Hey everybody, Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing. How you doing? Got a few clips here I just edited together from a recent fishing trip. This is the first fish of the day, and it's on the Beast Coast open water sniper jig. And this is after about a good hour, hour and a half of fishing with nothing going on. So I had tried throwing, it was a windy day. I was throwing a spinnerbait around. I was throwing the drop shot. I was throwing the jerkbait. I just could not get anything going. And so I just started dragging the bottom for a while with the Beast Coast. And I believe that's that stealth pumpkin color. It's a half-ounce Beast Coast. I'll get it back here in the show it to you again here in a sec. I was showing it to the back camera there, which you'll see in a minute too. But it was a nice fish, So I finally got something in. So this is a lake that I only have ever fished in the springtime. I've never fished it in the early fall like this. Just here's the back view of that fish. And I've never, it's a deep, clear water lake. I believe it's like 100 feet deep in some spots. So I didn't really know what to expect. In the springtime when they're up shallow and they're spawning and they're on shallow cover, you can catch some fish. I've never been there in the middle of the summer. I've never been there in the fall. So I figured I'd try it out, see if the water cooling down has got these fish moving up, maybe feeding a little bit. And after, like I said, that first hour, I was wondering if I made a good choice on the lake to choose to go fishing on. But it turned out, as you'll see, a decent day. So that was the first fish of the day. And, maybe they just needed to wait until the early afternoon, the thing to kind of warm up a little bit. Here's my second fish of the day. This was on a spinnerbait. This is on that 38 special. You guys know I like to throw. And here's that front view from the boat. And when I caught this fish and I was bringing him in, the water, like I said, on this lake is really clear. There was another good-sized smallie that was swimming right with him. Maybe if I had a crankbait, I could have got them both. But with the spinnerbait, that wasn't going to happen. But, another decent keeper. And at some point of the day, I'll get into it a little more later, I did catch a bunch of, small, like 10, 11, inch smallies. I didn't film, show those, add those to the camera. So this was not a long smallie, but it had a big gut on him. And this is just coming up the back view from that fish. And there's a lot of rock through there. And as I said, that other nice smallie was swimming right with him. So I thought maybe I was going to get into him here. And this was the only one I caught in this area on the blade. You can see those buoys there. They're kind of marking where the rocks there start before the island. But another nice smallie. As I said, that 38 special. And so it's two fish I had in the boat at this point of the day. So at least it was starting to turn on a little bit. And I would imagine at this time it was probably around noontime. I got a kind of a late start. I didn't even leave the house till like after 9 o'clock. So by the time I actually got on the water and got going and got to this area, it was probably around noontime. So maybe just it warming up too helped a little bit. Because in that first, like I said, hour or so, it was kind of dead. So now I go around to the other side of the lake, and I start throwing the hover rig. And this is the best fish of the day. Best smallie of the day. I didn't weigh him. I would imagine he was in that 3-pound range. And I just started throwing that hover rig with that shad impact on there. And I chucked it up by the rocks around the island, and this nice smallie bit. So this clip is going to be kind of the extended clip of catching that fish. He had the hover rig. He pretty much swallowed the entire bait. the soft plastic was pretty much like, how when you're like, you've got a fish hook and he's got the hook kind of deep, not in a gill. Luckily, he wasn't bleeding or anything, but he had it like in his throat, like right at the top of his throat. And when I ever see a fish like that, I hate to, you don't want to, try and pull it out. You might do more damage than just leaving it in there. And then he kind of like swallowed once or twice, and at least I would have taken the shad impact out, but he swallowed the whole thing. So that's why this is a little bit more extended, because it took me a while just to, I was trying some of my different tools, trying to at least get some of the plastic out of there, because I knew I wasn't going to try to get the hook out. I didn't want to, hurt him by yanking that hook out. But he had, he crunched that bait deep. And this is a nice smallie. This lake does have nice smallies in it. They're just, sometimes they're hard to get on top of them there with that deep water. I don't know if they're out there suspending, chasing bait, or what they do that time of the year after the spawn, but it can be difficult trying to find them. But this is a nice smallie. And you can't even see the bait. You'll see it when I show you the close-up view of this. He's got it down. And as soon as I saw where the hook was, I was like, ugh, I don't want to just yank it out and hurt him. I'd rather, let him just go and that hook will rust out eventually. And he already, like I said, he already swallowed the soft plastic. So I don't know if he eventually coughed that out or what. I was trying, like you see there, I'm trying with some of the different tools, and I'm like, man, where is this hook? I even had to use my I'm at the point now, guys, where I need the old reading glasses on the boat. I even had to put the reading glasses on so I could see it better. And he kept swallowing and swallowing, and the bait just disappeared more and more and more. And so if I could give you any hint there or any advice, when they've got that hook down deep like that in their throat, don't try to rip it out. Don't try to pull it out. You're just going to probably kill the fish. He's got a better chance of me just leaving it in there. He'll, the acids in his mouth and stomach will get rid of that bait quick, and that small wire hook on that hover rig is gonna rust out quick, and better than ripping out his throat, trying to save a bait. So I think at this point I'm finally going to say, all right, you know what, fish, I don't want to hurt you. He was bleeding a little bit there, and I think that was just for me just hitting his gill once with my tool, but it wasn't profusely bleeding or anything, luckily. He did swim. He kind of hovered next to the boat a little bit, and then he finally went down. But nice smallie. That hover rig was definitely the bait that got me the most bites. Here's just a close-up view of it, just a quick shot of him coming in the boat so you can see him a little closer. And as you can tell, that hover rig is gone. I mean, you can't even see the bait. He's got it swallowed. Nice colors on those fish in that lake. But that was the best fish of the day right there. As I said, I didn't weigh him. I would assume he was in that 3-pound range as far as smallies go. Those other ones were probably that 2.5 to 2 1/4, range. But it wasn't a big numbers day, because after this, I started throwing the hover rig down. I probably caught 5 or 10 more smallies that did not make, they were all small. So I just started fishing the shoreline, working it up. I was getting ready to head back, and I catch another one on the spinnerbait on the 38 special. So all in all, for what I would consider kind of a tough fall day, 4 decent smallies that I actually, that you got on film here to see. I didn't, as I said, the other 5 or 10 dinks, I didn't bother showing you them. You guys get the idea. But another nice smallie on that spinnerbait. I thought the spinnerbait bite was going to be real good just based on how windy it was, and there's so much rock in the lake. But I don't know. It seemed like there was that little bit of a bite window for a few hours there in the afternoon, and then the last hour again, I was fishing some really big boulders with the hover rig and with the drop shot again. The spinnerbait, the wind was even, kicking up again, but nothing. Couldn't get anything to go. Here's just the view from the back of that last good keeper of the day. So as I said, decent day. On a lake that I had never fished this time of the year before. Wanted to give it a shot, see if the smallies were moving up yet. And it was decent, 4 decent smallies, those other little dinks that kind of just filled the day out. But like the first hour was was slow, and the last hour was slow. The middle was pretty good. But nice smallies. The nice ones that I did catch were all, nice solid smallmouth. I don't think this lake has any largies in it. I've never caught one there, I don't think, the times I fished there. But there it goes. Now I'll just give you guys some quick pictures here of the baits. There you see the spinnerbait, the hover rig, and that Beast Coast. And that Beast Coast, that's a 1/2 ounce open water sniper. That stealth pumpkin color with that summer craw from Strike King, the Menace, the spinnerbait, and the hover rig. So guys, that's it. I'll see you soon on YouTube. Mark out.